We have made it to day something here at DreamLeague Season 22. Suns fan here with Cinderman. BetBoom versus Spirit. This is going to be a hype-ass best of 3. As we see a lot of familiar heroes, but a couple get through that maybe are a little bit surprising. And we get to see the GPK Invoker. Remains to be seen whether it will be a Quas Wex or an Exort. I mean, it does look like a good Exort on paper because of all this setup, but
yep,
you never know.
Definitely part of the pick is the Chronosphere. Obviously, the Chronosphere Cataclysm combo, a classic. Should mention about this game, more or less, this is an elimination game for Spirit. So it's a tough opponent to go up against in an elimination game, but at the same time, it's also one that Team Spirit knows very well. These teams play each other quite frequently within their own region in Eastern Europe, and plenty of finals and qualifiers and events have been between these two teams in the past. So, a lot
and
of
Toronto Toko used to be on Team Spirit. Can you believe it? Been a couple years now, of course.
Now, about the lineups, I think this is going to be one of those games where BetBoom want to go super late, whereas Spirit, it's not like you're necessarily on a timer, but I think Sven plus Primal and Panga, like this Tricore, would like to probably try to finish the game around when Sven just has his biggest power spike, like a couple of strong items before Void really gets online. But I do think the panel missed one key part about this breakdown between the two teams, and that is Primal Beast, obviously, Dota2's Dinosaur. What wiped out the Dinosaur, Shannon?
The tomato.
That is correct. Tomatoes. I'm very happy you actually got it right. And there is obviously Invoker on the other side who can drop tomatoes at will.
So I'm not an Invoker specialist, Cinderin. This is a Quas Wex though. And I think the reason that Jenkins thought that was going to be the case is because the matchup against Pango. Pango, this is miserable for him, in theory, Quas Wex. But that means that the Sunstrike's not going to be super powerful until much later in the game.
I think this is the kind of game where GPK could...
Guitaro!
Oh.
That is going to be first blood for save. Some casual right clicks.
Classic Centaur techies lane. Feels like this happens every time. Always overpower melee carrying lane.
And it's funny that we see a lot of these supports just end up playing kind of the same heroes every time because so many of these cores have to be banned. Obviously, stuff is going to get let through. There's a million heroes in the game now.
Yep.
Go ahead, Cinderella.
Yeah, I was going to say I think GPK can go for a hybrid Invoker this game. The 4-4-4 build. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Like, get the early points in Quas Wex so that you can offer the pace that your team needs, but at the same time also start planning for later in the game so you do have those Exort points when you have the levels. And you can, yeah, nice sidestep there from Mira. And you can get the Cataclysm going with Void when it matters the most. Because I think, realistically speaking, if Yatoro gets farmed on the Sven, is he even going to die in Chrono if there is no Cataclysm? Like, do they have enough damage if, let's say, Spirit have one glimmer?
All right, how about this?
You know?
Techie's Ags into Chrono. Huh?
Oh.
Huh? How fast does that go off?
I don't know, actually.
Because you have to...
Every time we see a pro player buy it, they barely use it.
Yeah. I don't know what the cast range is either. Like, is it on top of you, or is it actually a cast range to it?
This is one of those moments where I'm like...
I think
I'm proud to not know the answer because that means I don't play a lot of techies.
I think it's based off the flag, so you should be able to get, like, cast range and place the flag, right? And, of course, if you put a Roshan's banner, it just looks really cool next to it. Of course, it does nothing, as we've established in this tournament.
I think the cast range is really short, and I think it's a very long cast.
Yeah, the cast time is the issue.
So... Oh, Hex?
Yeah, Void.
He's actually just
go down,
dead.
It looks like. Wow. Nightfall.
That was not interesting enough. We will look top to see if Miposhka survives, and he will. Ah, got you.
Nightfall. Well, early death for him.
I think he was maybe surprised that Mira skilled Hex there. Don't think he should be surprised, though, given the laning circumstances. You know, you're playing against Primal Beast. This is the... I honestly think both carries are going to suffer badly. Like, these lane matchups are rough.
Yeah.
Oh, and should mention, by the way, this series, or this game, rather, has 2 of the highest win rate heroes in the tournament, which wasn't really talked about either. Primal Beast is 19-10, and Faceless Void is 13-5. So, very, very high win rate heroes. After this game, one of them will win, one of them will lose.
Unless the server crashes, then we
Unless
just cancel everything.
By some miracle, we get the first draw ever in Dota. You know, you definitely know the answer to this. What happens when both Ancients fall simultaneously?
One team wins.
Which one?
Actually, I don't know. I'm trying to. I remember this was a conversation that we've had a long time ago. I'm going to say Radiant.
I'm going to say I don't remember, but I think it's Radiant.
Wow, thanks for asking a question you don't know the answer to.
That's just funny to hear you're thinking about something for once. You actually took it seriously.
I did. I take everything seriously.
That is absolutely. That's as far from the truth as you can get, pretty much.
Okay, thank you. Exposing me live.
You take nothing seriously, as a matter of fact.
That is incorrect.
Okay, what do you take seriously?
Cats.
Okay.
That's about it.
Yeah, okay. Well.
That's GPK in that mid lane, 30-8 versus the 20-5 for Laurel. So GPK off to quite a good start.
Yep.
So far it is just, I mean, if you're going to go hybrid like you were, which I've never seen, by the way, is Toronto-Tokyo is going to be able to leap away.
You've never seen Invokers go 4-4-4?
I mean, I've just never paid attention either. You know, I just...
that's because you don't take it seriously.
At what point do you start going into Exort then, in that case? Like what level-ish?
Well, that would mathematically be level 9. Because then you're 4-4 in the other two. And you don't skill your ults.
Okay. Good answer.
Yeah, stupid question. Just do the math.
I thought that your hybrid build was something more interesting than that.
Oh, so you start getting like 1 point in Exort earlier?
Yeah, as Nightfall actually goes down. So 2 deaths already for the Void. This is a hero that...
This lane is cursed. The moment they look away from it, Nightfall dies. I think you should just keep looking bottom, highlighting that his health bar is empty. That is indeed why he died.
Laurel.
0 health.
Cold Snap. We'll be able to get the Arcane Rune. I mean, it has been 4 best of 3s a day.
Oh, I'm not blaming him.
It's rough stuff. You are blaming.
You're
shaming.
I have tried doing camera work for a tournament.
Yeah, you're terrible.
Thank you.
GPK,
that was not what I was getting
Rolling
at.
Thunder, as Miposhka is there with the Firefly as well, but gets off the Ghost Walk in time.
I can tell you that that catching every kill is stupidly hard, and these guys are doing a great job doing it consistently. We're warming up this morning, though.
That's right. The monster hasn't quite kicked in yet. Gonna have to get an IV into our vein.
Yep, this is the right lane to watch.
Yes!
But
collapse again.
He can't lane. This lane is actually unplayable. Wow. So if you're playing Faceless Void against double stun plus Primal Beast, you need either a save or
Oh, nice flame break.
Clutch.
Go ahead, Cinder.
You need either a save or a stun. Like, you need some way of stopping Primal from walking all over your Faceless, and they don't have anyone. Mirana Arrow is not reliable. So genuinely every time Nightfall shows up to hit a creep, he's gonna die. He can't lane.
Yeah.
This is actually a total disaster.
So what's the option? Because he's not exactly a great jungler at level 4. Like, this is a hero that needs the early farm just to be able to go AFK and farm.
I think the solution is GPK. I think you have to pull resources from another lane to bring this guy into the game. If he starts jungling now, this game is... I don't know, man. This is... He's going to get absolutely minimal income from this. He will pull the wave to try to get it into tower, which is all fine and good, but he could die in the tower. Like, they kill him 100-0 in a stun, so this is not safe at all. Arrow gonna miss. Laurel with the sidestep.
And that is one thing they don't have a real easy setup at this stage of the game for the Arrow. Is Toronto-Tokyo will take a nice swash. Once they get Hoof Stomp once they get the blink on Centaur for the Hoof Stomp, then perhaps the Arrow setup, or of course a Chrono at some point.
I'm gonna steal the stack here. Spirit. Cheeky.
Yeah, we got the second cam on Nightfall just in case. Appreciate that production.
Oh, that's a good call. I have a feeling this will not be his last death of the game, the third one. But yeah, it was one of two things, right? Either you go and help him with the Invoker, or your Mirana leaves you and goes something else. Mira's level 6.
Oh my goodness.
Holy shit, he's level 6?
Can he just get this kill straight up? Impale forces out the time walk. Goes a little early, I thought.
I actually think he could have maybe killed him if he hexed him, hit him twice more, and fingered. It would have been close.
Yeah, he did the math, so I'll trust that he could not have. Oh, blast off connects. EMP drains his mana as Laurel will take... No, he will not take it.
Oh my God,
Instead, he gets the kill on Toronto Tokyo.
Oh my.
Quite the turnaround, I have to say.
Mira's looking to kill Nightfall here.
Yeah.
He's waiting.
Wants
this
the
time he has a
collapse,
friend with him.
And the Impale, it does hit into the Pulverize, and I'm sure the finger will eventually come. Death number 4 for the Void. Yikes.
We're gonna need some really good tomatoes this game, I think.
Yeah.
Some nice San Marzano.
Well, he can't make a tomato yet because he still doesn't have Exort.
Can you name one tomato breed?
Cherry.
Does that count?
I don't know.
I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
That's good enough.
Only reason I know that is because you made me eat one.
Oh. And you
As a
almost vomited.
That's correct.
You are the only person I have ever met in my life that despises tomatoes.
Well, raw tomatoes. There's a difference.
Yeah. Well.
GPK is going to be able to get the damage rune.
What do they taste like to you?
Death.
How, have you tasted death before?
Every conversation with you is basically that.
That's fair.
Nightfall still.
And if only I could eat conversations with myself, that would be wonderful. What a diet!
Yeah.
Level
Very
6
good
for the Void.
GPK again. Gonna try for the same combo. Another great flame break, but it matters not. Maposhka does fall. And Nightfall, this is the saddest sight for BetBoom fans that they've seen in quite some time.
I can actually give an anecdote based on experience in this. I had a game as Faceless Void where I died multiple times in lane and went jungle. It was awful.
Yeah, you should be playing carry to begin with.
I never came back. I think it was by necessity. Trust me, I don't ask for carry. But this hero is terrible at recovering. It takes forever. You have no farming ability.
Yeah.
And you like, what do you buy now? Do you rush Midas? Maelstrom? It looks like Maelstrom to try to find that farm, but Sven should be probably staying 50% ahead of Void on GPM right now, if not even more. Because as much as we're talking about Nightfall, it's not like Yatoro's being stopped at all. There's no trade-off.
Yeah.
Like, the Sven is just free farming. Sven has 112 CS. Void has 43. And this is only going to get worse because Sven is going to start being able to clear ancient stacks and whatnot.
Well, Nightfall, he wants to get a chrono off. Arrow is coming. Is not going to hit. And collapse. Well, he's still going to be slowed down. The Spirit Vessel being shown by GPK. Blast off is there. And collapse does take a tumble. GPK is the one that gets credit for that.
Yeah, this was how you're going to open
arrow
up
that he would
lane.
have a chance to get away, but just too much damage still.
It's a ton of resources being pulled, but this is how you kill in Void's lane. Like, that's how far ahead collapse is, so you had to bring those numbers.
Yeah, Miero getting gone on now, but there's the Moonlight Shadow. Maposhka is level 6, has the dust. Stampede gets out of range, so will live, although Maposhka continuing on as they are getting backstabbed right now. The Moonlight Shadow being used. Nice double impale from Mira. Stun comes out from Yatoro. Arrow not going to hit again, but they should have the damage.
That's big.
Great backstab from BetBoom.
And at the same time, also, you could argue quite the mistake from Spirit to stick around this long with as many heroes off the map as BetBoom have. Sure, they've killed in the bottom lane. They could just gate top and get this backstab. And Spirit were not really cognizant of the fact that BetBoom could be going for this. But honestly, that feels like an uncharacteristic blunder from Yatoro when you think about it in the big picture. Sven, in this game, your job is not to start diving and killing the Centaur with your bat. Just keep farming. Like, the game is going really well for you. This is a big slowdown.
And blast off. Sticky Bomb is there with a bunch of mines. Down goes Maposhka.
Easy kill.
As Nightfall makes his way over to the top lane. But Collapse and Mira, through the gate they go. Looks like they might want to defend this tier 1 potentially, as there's a defusal now for Laurel. But BetBoom looks like they're playing a little bit passive here. Might end up backing off. And with Yatoro showing up, they will do just that. So no opportunity here for Spirit, it seems. At least not yet. I don't know what that is.
It's a political message from Toronto Tokyo, dropping the MAGA. I think it means something else.
Yeah, definitely.
It would be pretty random for him to just push top tower and just retreat, make America great again.
Oh, God.
That's, I wonder what that means in Russian.
I don't know.
I feel like if I look it up on Google Translate, it's not even going to be, it's probably slang, you know?
Yeah.
Probably not going to help me much.
As Collapse has Veil of Discord right now, and I believe he's going for the BKB next. Meanwhile, Miero with the Veil of Discord. And we'll be going for Blink, so no huge surprise here.
No.
Echo Saber now online for Yatoro. But the story again is Nightfall and his just horrific start. He is going Midas, so this is going to be a long one. If
he changed the Maelstrom over, yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly think this might just be better. Like, at this point, recognizing that your impact is going to be a chrono, and your teammates can do the damage in that chrono, and that's it. Then you're going to go back to farming. I don't think he's going to be involved in much. He needs to find a way back in this game, and it will be a long climb. But fortunately for him, these last couple of moves from BetBoom have been successful, so had these moves failed and Spirit have found more kills, or at least not lost their Sven, we would be looking at a 4 to 5k gold lead at this point, at least. But this game is well within reach. The Void matchup against Sven is very good later on. And we're looking at much later, obviously, at this rate. But both he and Invoker will be rocking the Midas.
Yeah, that one is definitely a little bit more standard. I mean, not that Midas on Void is that unusual, but it is typically the Maelstrom build.
Yeah.
But she might still go as well. And Moonlight Shadow from BetBoom.
He should get both.
Might not find a connection here. Mira is the only one nearby, as there's a Sunstrike. Not sure if that was being used for vision. More random words being spouted out.
I don't think they're random, Shannon. I think you just don't understand.
Well, random for me. And Mira will not be found, it seems. Unless he wants to be. So Blink from Miero. Not sure if he's shown it yet, but see if BetBoom want to get a little bit aggressive. But like you said, with two Midases, I mean, he can run around with the Marana, with the Techies, and perhaps try to get some kills. I mean, Invoker can still fight with the Midas. It's not like a typical Midas builder, right?
He went Vessel first. He has what's necessary, and he needs to find a way to scale. I think his item build is completely fine, and GPK is starting to go Exort points now. So he went 4 and 5, and then started getting the Exort. Now he has 2 points in that.
Okay, Chrono from Nightfall. Arrow is coming into a Sunstrike.
And a Mine.
And the Mine. So they do get the kill. I mean, anything you can get for Nightfall right now, you will take for sure.
Radiant are scanning.
And it will be a Maelstrom for Nightfall into an S&Y. As Miero's going to be spotted out. Stormhammer's there. Yatoro will get some help with that lasso, but Miero has the Stampede, and Blink is about to be up again, getting canceled though. Nice flame break from Aposhka, trying to finish the job. The TP attempt is not going to be there. So ends up being a good kill for Spirit as they increase their lead to 3k.
Aposhka is level 11.
Really?
He got so much experience from this kill, he's out-leveling the enemy supports by 2 full levels at this point. So that's quite huge for him. And, well, what does BetBoom sacrifice by going 2 Midases? They're definitely... The Void didn't... It doesn't matter what Void buys here, let's be honest. If you had a Maelstrom instead of the Midas, it doesn't really change anything in terms of his fighting impact. For Invoker, maybe you could have been looking at a different utility item, but the problem is this is going to be 4,000 quote-unquote dead gold in fights, right? Like, this doesn't give any impact for the most part. So how much are you actually behind on efficient gold right now? And you got to keep in mind that the Sven will be hitting this point of critical mass probably within the next 10 minutes. So are BetBoom going to be up for the challenge? And can they defend Roche? I don't personally really see it.
I mean, those are 2 big items as well from Spirit. You got the BKB now for Yatoro and a Blink already from Aposhka.
Yep. Aposhka also gets the Light Collector. So he has really fast. He has 489 move speed at night.
With Tranquils, yeah. And a
quite ridiculous.
The Light Collector and the Windlace as well. But it looks like BetBoom are the one that wants to get aggressive here. Of course, this is a 4v5.
They don't have Chrono.
If Yatoro wants to fight. And they find a connection. Arrow is going to hit. Miposhka gets taken out. A good kill there, and it also shows off the Blink Dagger, so now they won't be surprised by it. Assuming they clicked, of course.
Yep. Nightfall, if he goes for this wave, he's in big trouble. He kind of feels like this is fishy. And a great read to get stuck in the trees.
Yeah, no quelling there, it seems.
This backpack, but swapping it in takes longer than waiting for time walk, so.
Yeah.
Now he's heading back over. He has teammates nearby.
Yeah, Miero. Miero's in the trees, gonna get the Hex off, but
Nice arrow.
they got the arrow, they got the hoof stomp. Down goes the Lion. Onslaught coming in from Collapse. He wants to fight. Pulverize onto Miero. Laurel is there as well as the Centaur gets off Stampede. Going towards the south. Laurel, can he find the connection? Not yet. Collapse. Not sure if he saw the blink as Miero now behind the Roche pit. It looks like he might be able to get out.
Moonlight Shadow so good.
Indeed.
Wait, was that Moonlight? It was, right?
No, it
Radiant
was
are
not.
scanning.
Wait, am I tripping?
Like how I said indeed, just assuming you were correct. Always wrong.
I just looked over at Mirana and I was like, okay, she has had it on cooldown for a minute.
Oh, Lasso finds Nightfall into the Hex Impale. Finger goodbye. Oh, that was so close to being out of range. So yet another death for Nightfall.
So it was Save that was nearby with a glimmer on the Centaur? Or what? I don't know, I got so confused there. I guess he must have been glimmered and I just saw it as Moonlight because they lost track of him, right?
Cinder, get over it. Okay.
I can't recover from this.
Get over it.
I will never.
Radiant's top tower.
I'll reference this in 10 minutes.
I won't be surprised.
Mid lane.
Yatoro, but mid lane, hoof
Yes,
stomp,
haste.
Sunstrike.
Nice Sunstrike.
But
Oh!
the Spirit Vessel's
He's okay.
not going to be enough, it seems.
What a great Sunstrike.
Laurel gets away.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, this build from Invoker is very annoying for the Pango, as we said. I mean, Tornado gets rid of Shield Crash buff as well. As there's going to be an Ags now, though, for Laurel. A lot earlier Ags than we've been seeing.
Yep. Do you think he should have bought Shard first, maybe?
Shard is very good against the Cold Snap, that's true. I don't know. I mean, perhaps he wants to align this extra damage with Yatoro's BKB, Miposhka's Blink. Seeming that they want to get aggressive here. As Nightfall being shadowed. Being used as live bait. And now he has his Maelstrom. Now he can continue to farm. But now at a faster rate.
Evasive maneuver from Spirit.
Miero. He is going to blink out. And there's the Moonlight Shadow.
Yeah, nice Team Glimmer. They will invade the triangle, but they'll not find anyone. Yatoro has 2/3 of his
Are
Ags.
scanning.
We'll take the top tier 1.
Radiant's top
No
tower
contesting
is
this for
under attack.
BetBoom.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Crosses the 300 CS mark.
Stampede coming. Blast off as well. That is enough damage for Laurel to take a tumble again. But save coming in. Nice. Nightfall Chronosphere. Do they have the damage follow-up, though? It's still going to be enough to take out Mira in the end. Tornado's not going to hit his Collapse. Going to get stunned mid-onslaught, but there's the lasso onto Nightfall. They can get this, and Spirit will be pretty happy, but they won't be able to. Deafening Blast from GPK. 3 dead for Spirit as Yatoro now on the run. Sticky Bomb latches, hoof stomp to follow. Miposhka can only watch on as his carry will fall. 4 dead for Spirit. And the fact that Nightfall was able to not only get initiated on Survive, but actually provide something for his team to win this fight is huge for BetBoom.
Yeah, I mean, bursting Laurel like this is just the dream, right? He doesn't have buyback. You're next to the tower, but that is a beautiful chrono.
Gorgeous.
Absolutely perfect. And they identify that they can kill the Lion quickly enough before he gets any spells off, so this is a 5-on-3 now. And Collapse in the river.
Did he hoof stomp from high ground there?
I'm not quite sure, actually.
That was...
It's probably a Glimmer. That one was a hoof stomp.
Great fight from BetBoom.
Just super clean. They find the original jump, they take the initiative, and
it's just textbook their target prioritization. Like, understanding that killing Pango first as their initial move is the right play, and then finding the Lion. It's very, very clean. Mira will...
Man, these sticky
really
bombs, the range
again.
on them is absurd. Sunstrike finishes the job. GPK with another kill to his name. Killing spree now. And in terms of net worth, dead even.
Yeah. They have recovered this game. I think it's just fair to say that one fight in mid changes absolutely everything. Spirit just lost a 5k lead. Their Sven died a 3rd time. And this... I can't help but feel like this is a different way than, let's say, Falcons would have played this game with their Sven. I feel like Yatoro is getting too involved. I think Skitter, in a lot of Falcons games, if they were in this game state, would just keep farming. He would just continue until he has the full Ags, and then they will make the move, and they will initiate with literally any hero going in first instead of the Sven. He will wait for the right moment, jump in and kill someone, and build the fight that way. But
yeah, and the Axe wasn't really that far away either.
No, he's been close to it for like 3 minutes, but they keep looking for moves, so he's not getting to finish this timing. Now it's finally coming out. But yeah, this could have been 2 minutes earlier. This time, this smoke, I agree with a lot more. BetBoom will have all their spells again, though. So Chrono online.
Indeed.
For Nightfall. Smoke will break from Eposhka.
Yeah, looking to the lasso. Eposhka has to back away now, as the Axe does fully come online for Yatoro. The BKB is there now for collapse, so can get off the pulverize.
I believe he even used it in the previous fight, but Laurel was already dead, so it didn't really matter that he got the full pulverize. And he also got cancelled by the Chrono anyway.
Oh yeah, it's the blink that he picked up, I guess, last. So more initiation possibilities for Spirit.
BetBoom just gonna dodge. Like, okay, I know you guys are there.
Yep, that'll lead to the Rosh.
Check the Rosh, and I think they're just letting this one go. They're too far away, not in any position to contest it. And who do you... I feel like you put this Aegis on Laurel. Yatoro's second life isn't worth anything in this game comparatively, in my opinion. Like, we've seen other teams... on Falcons, they generally, when they play with Sven carry, they give the Aegis to Malrine almost every time. Because if Skitter does die with God Strength, his second life isn't particularly valuable.
Mira with the counter initiation, trying to save Toronto. Tokyo, the cleave coming in, though. Yatoro doing a lot of damage, but Mira dies first, and now the Stampede away. BetBoom get away with murder, and they force the BKB on Yatoro. So Spirit just gonna have to back away, despite having that Aegis advantage.
I don't think they forced the BKB on Yatoro. I think he forced it himself. There was absolutely nothing coming his way. He just thought this was going to be a big fight, but again, just not structured enough from Spirit. It's BetBoom finding the picks. It's BetBoom taking the initiative, getting stuff done here. Just outmaneuvering them, really. This is not a game that should, technically speaking, be that difficult for Spirit to fight in as long as they find the enemy team and get to engage. BetBoom just isn't giving them opportunities. It feels like all the stray heroes that get caught in it, like... get caught out in random positions. It's been Spirit 5 times in a row. So, considering Nightfall has 5 deaths, the rest of BetBoom have barely died. You have 6-0-8 on the Techies and 2-1-10 on Mirana. The support's
I have to say, I know that they haven't really been playing clean overall. There has been almost no impact from Laurel, though. As the arrow's going to connect from Toronto. Tokyo, he goes up there for the snipe, and he gets the kill on his old captain. And now the Moonlight Shadow. Not sure if Spirit spotted that, but if BetBoom can find something else, as the Cataclysm has been online now for a bit, so Chrono Cataclysm could be enormous here. The Moonlight Shadow not really being used in an offensive manner, it seems.
A maxed out Exort. Sunstrikes do a ton of damage. This is just, it's not looking great for Spirit.
Yatoro initiated on. Here comes the Rolling Thunder from Lorna. He actually cancels it.
Oh, they didn't get the arrow.
We're going to back away. Yeah, not able to find the perma-stun.
But all they committed was Kata. There's no, they forced TPs. Spirit are not able to take initiative. The Aegis is slowly but steadily expiring. And already, when you look at this from the big picture of what happened 10 minutes ago, it feels like Spirit have missed the timing of this game. Like, Void has successfully recovered. Your Sven has died too many times to stay ahead of the curve. So how are you going to find an entry point into this game? It has to come from, I think, either blink Pulverize or blink Lasso, and then once BetBoom responds, that's when your Sven can possibly initiate. But the curse for Yatoro in this game is, and that's why you pick Void into this hero if you're BetBoom in this game, is you can't really go in until the chrono's been used. It almost becomes this game of chicken, because if Sven pops everything, jumps in and gets chronoed, I think he can die in chrono to Void Invoker and like a little bit of a stray spell from someone else. The damage is just really overwhelming. And until he has Satanic, even if he doesn't die, he might lose his presence. So if he drops to like 25%, he's got to disengage. It's almost the same as being dead, you know? You can't really go back in as Sven then.
Toronto, Tokyo. Might run into Mira, and
finally, Spirit finds something.
Hex,
it's been forever.
Burst, goodbye.
What was their last kill?
Yeah, it has been a while.
Okay, that's
Observer ward kills, yeah, good stuff.
Minute 20, so 10 minutes ago they killed Void, and before that it was, I don't know how long ago.
Yeah, it's been all BetBoom recently.
Dire's top tower is under
Now they're just
attack.
waiting out this Aegis. Don't have to wait too much longer. Just a little over a minute.
Surprisingly, Spirit still have their top tier 1 minute 30, so they're going to TP on this and use it as a contact point.
Ooh.
Good reaction from Laurel. And they have a good ward here, but the Stampede disengaged. BetBoom know this is coming. Based on Laurel's movement, they feel like they're being initiated on, and they're just going to get the hell out of there. Also, Aegis will expire in 40 seconds. So this feels like Spirit really want to try to put this to use, and BetBoom just not giving them the opportunity. They'll let them have the top tier 2. It's not the end of the world. They're going to glyph to make things a little more annoying for Yatoro. Might as well buy that time. We'll get the Aegis refunded, or the glyph refunded, rather. Doesn't even get the last hit. That's unfortunate. Daedal is almost complete now for Yatoro.
They know that God Strength is down now, though. No Stampede for BetBoom.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That is, I mean, Sven has been really popular and very successful at this tournament, but that's been one of his old school kind of mentalities when you're going up against him. Is you need to play around the God Strength, such a long cooldown until he gets an eventual refresher.
And now that he has the Daedalist, you would think Spirit's dream fight is to just see Void. If they ever see Void and jump him first with their BKBs, there's no counterplay to that. Void is the counterplay to everything everything Spirit can bring at them. If they jump on anybody else and Sven commits, that's when you get the chrono. But if you somehow find that Void, you have the tools to burst him stupidly fast now that Sven is Daedalus.
They get the worst shard again.
It's unfortunate.
Well, it was either that or rock throw, so.
They'd much rather have rock throw.
Yeah. Not that that's particularly amazing. It's okay.
No, actually, would it have been the Pango one?
Oh, is he lower right now?
They're very close. I don't know when they killed it, if he was
Scanning.
lower or not. Yeah, the Pango one would have been quite good because Laurel is very stubborn, not buying it. Instead going for the Eon Disc, which is also understandable considering he's been kind of getting locked down in these fights. I feel like we haven't really seen more than a couple Rolling Thunders in an actual team fight.
He's 1-1-0, so it's a very uncommon scoreline for Pango this late into the game.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. It's going to be taking apart the Eon Disc so he can decide when it actually procs.
Yep.
You can only do that once, right? Or
yeah.
Did they change that? Okay.
This will be a temporary solution. Eventually, you imagine Void will get a nullifier to solve this problem. For the time being, it will work. The other item of the game for Team Spirit to somewhat recover this later down the line will probably be Wind Wakers. Looks like Collapse is planning on one of those. You need to have some sort of way of saving heroes that get Chrono into Cataclysmed, and Aeon Disc works for the next maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then it will start looking worse and worse.
Dire's top tower is under
Moonlight Shadow initiation. Cataclysm is there, but the Eon Disc being procced, and Laurel does get off his ultimate in time. I was going to say, I'm not sure why he's going back in because they do have Chronosphere. Is it enough damage? Yes. Laurel punished again.
Yeah.
And GPK, I mean, the fact that there was no one nearby is now mass TP's up to the top tier 2. Superman's coming for GPK as the pause comes through. And what? The horse happens here. Does GPK...
He has Invoke on cooldown. He's dead, right? They can't save him, can they?
They have quite a few members nearby.
Mirana can double leap into Force Staff.
I mean, this is where they can actually coordinate something, right?
This is the only way they save this, I think. Because Sven is going to pop God Strength, and I'm assuming... Wait, do they actually not have any follow-through here? Can he survive this on his own? I don't know. I think they might have to double leap Force here.
Okay, let's see. Gets stunned up. Miero goes in for the hook stop of the BKB from Yatoro. GPK gets Force Staff eventually by Toronto Tokyo, who still has a leap to get away. But save is the casualty here for BetBoom. Spirit need to get more. Nightfall brought back by that Flame Break. The lasso applied to Miero as Yatoro forcing his way onto Nightfall, but he's going to get disarmed. Deafening Blast destroying him. Absolutely no HP. He goes down to a miserable right click from the Centaur. And now Spirit have to full disengage. That Deafening Blast was God tier. And BetBoom get away with murder.
Yeah, Spirit not... I think it's just fair to say not really in their element in this game. Had higher hopes for them based on the way this game started out, but they have just dropped the ball in that mid game, just been outplayed again. Once again, Bet has really been the name of the game here. They've managed to dodge every strong timing that Spirit had. And this right here, I feel like it's just a flat-out play call mistake. Like, this is not possible to go on the Void like this. There's too much backup. I think even without Deafening Blast, they still win this fight. Sven has not enough in the tank. Void gets one time walk off. The chain stuns were not in range. I don't know if Mira couldn't find the blink hex follow or what was the deal there, but either way, that fight was very easy for BetBoom.
Shadows take us.
Another Moonlight Shadow. Such an annoying spell to deal with as Miero will show himself on the wave. He's going to get pulverized though. Laurel, Rolling Thunder's coming. Trying to get the lockdown on the center, but he's going to pop the BKB, get Force Staffed away. So again, Spirit just, they can't lock people down for long enough. But BetBoom seem to have answers every time.
It's not only that, it's that they're not doing it at the same time, right? They get this Blink Pulverize opportunity for Collapse, but there's no immediate follow-up. The way this lineup works is that Sven needs to kill people during the stuns. It's not like the Primal is going to solo the Centaur. It's not like the Bat is going to solo with the Lasso. The combinations need to be crisp, they need to be fast, it needs to be uncounterable. That's the whole point of this Sven, is to kill people very quickly, and they have just not been able to set things up. We'll see if they manage here.
Stampede initiation, they get Mira. He's down first. We'll buy back right away as Yatoro. There's a big Cataclysm coming, doing a decent amount of damage, but they find the Void, and now Miero will go down the right clicks of Yatoro as well. This is exactly what Spirit needed. Now BetBoom on the run. And Roche is going to be up in 15 seconds, so I would think that they'll be able to clean that up as well, but they're not done here. Swash not going to fully hit as Laurel continues to pursue onto Toronto Tokyo. Out of leaps, though, for 13. Blastoff comes in, very nicely timed, but Yatoro still packs a punch. Lots of mines going off. Yatoro's in a lot of trouble. Spirit Vessel applied right now, the Cold Snap as well. He goes down to the simple right click of the Invoker as GPK doing so much. Despite losing the rest of his team, that is still a very valuable kill. It might prevent the Roche, in fact.
Yeah, this is a huge kill for GPK to find specifically for that reason. Spirit could have got that. I completely get them chasing here, and I think it's a good play call to go for more. Unfortunately for them, though, Yatoro is too vulnerable against GPK's excellent spellcasting and just fighting here. Able to stand his ground. But that was honestly leading into this. This was the first time in what feels like an eternity that Spirit strung something together that made sense, right? They get the jump on the Void where Sven gets to do the damage, they have the stuns, and they kill him instantly, and then they build a fight around that. And the moment the Faceless Void dies, it's blown wide open. Suddenly the Sven can start getting onto secondary targets, they don't have to be scared of getting chronoed on their Pango, and they build something up. But yeah, that one final kill that GPK finds will prevent the Roche. And as a result, BetBoom might just go there now. They still have Chrono. You know, it wasn't used because Nightfall didn't get to play the fight whatsoever.
That's right. Alacrity available. Nightfall will likely be the recipient of that very shortly. Ancient Guardian on Pango. What? Nightfall. It's going Gonna show himself on the wave as Spirit towards the north. Still Yatoro, not for 5 seconds. Hoofstomp's gonna whiff. Moonlight Shadow now. Trying to isolate Spirit. And there's the Cataclysm giving some good vision. Miposhka with the Yules. Mira gets off the double suck, but he will likely be cleaned up as the rest of BetBoom are just overwhelming him. And that's 76 seconds without the Lion. So now it's a 5v4. The eventual Roach take here, Alacrity on Nightfall. They are scanned up as the Rolling Thunder is coming. Laurel's going to be spotted by Toronto Toki. He's going to find that nobody is in the pit. And now that is a wasted Rolling Thunder, essentially.
Man, they're getting so outplayed here, honestly. Like, BetBoom are just dodging absolutely every risk. And the conditions are getting easier and easier. It's a 4v5 with no Pango.
They're going to spot Yatoro. He gets hoof stomped. There's the Chrono onto a couple teammates, but more importantly, onto the Sven. 90 seconds on the deck. Collapse even ends up in the Chrono somehow. Walks in casually, it seems. Tornado not going to hit, though. But he's going to wrap around and find himself towards GPK's line of sight. And that is the death of the Primal Beast. As Laurel just trying to cut the waves, but this should now be Roche for BetBoom. And again, the Pango, don't want to put everything on him, but just hasn't been able to have any impact on this game, which is a bit unusual for Laurel. But you have to give BetBoom a lot of credit. Because now the second Roche goes to them. Cheese and Aegis their way.
It's a bit hard to appreciate from a spectator's point of view how well BetBoom have played this, but if you rewatch this game with their Fog of War the entire way, you'll recognize how good of a map read this team has right now. I think Spirit in this game are very frustrated with how many of their moves failed, where they just either didn't find anyone or they got immediately counterplayed. And that seems to have been, you know, that's a really big part of the reason why BetBoom and Falcons are on top of this second group stage, is just that their overall map awareness and game understanding just seems a notch above the rest. There's fewer blunders. Okay, Miero.
That casual hoof stomp.
Can't really follow up on it, though.
No GPK hunting. And Laurel getting this disperser. I mean, against Deafening Blast, pretty damn good. Against Cold Snap, pretty damn good.
Yep.
I mean, do they have a Lotus yet? They do not. By the way, what do you think of the Ancient Guardian on Laurel? Am I missing something?
I don't know. I'm surprised as well.
I think it feels like it does nothing for him.
It doesn't strike me as good either. Because this does nothing for your swash, right?
No.
So effectively, how much are you attacking heroes in the fights? I feel like there are games on Pango where that's the case, where you get to attack quite a bit. But not really this one. I don't know.
Maybe there was just terrible option after terrible option.
You can't get an array that's so bad that this is the best choice, surely, right? Like,
I would think not, yeah.
I'm trying to imagine the worst 4 choices for Pango.
He's finally going to go for his shard.
Maybe he was daydreaming that he's playing Invoker.
I mean, GPK has probably the best item you can possibly get for Invoker with the Timeless Relic.
Yeah.
Can't complain about that one.
It's just the best. 15% spell amp for your Cataclysm. Not bad. Oh, look. Lotus pools exist, says GPK. I love flowers.
Yeah, we'll get that block of cheese one day, guys.
Yeah, we had the best possible opportunity for it ever recently in a total 40-minute stalemate. And they still didn't get it. They wanted more banners that did nothing.
That's
Nightfall.
Right. To be fair, the banners would have done something if there was not a PA. If it was any other carry, pretty much. Miero.
Oh.
See the Cataclysm upon the Sven. Do they have the damage? He pops the BKB. The Satanic as well, but now the Chrono comes out. And that should be the death of Yatoro again. And Collapse being pursued in the meanwhile. He's going to be able to get off the onslaught.
Oh, they're in hot pursuit. Yeah,
Absolutely.
they're not stopping here.
He's going to BKB TP.
Oh, even BKBing here. What did he think was going to reach him? Maybe afraid of a stray arrow? Either way, he gets out, but Yatoro with another death to his name has definitely not been, I think it's fair to say, and I'm sure he would agree with this has been, for him, a very disappointing tournament. terms of individual performance. Obviously, it's generally a combination, right? When we watch teams and mistakes happen and players don't have the performance we're used to seeing, a lot of the time it's because the team dynamic and the team strategies and whatnot aren't working the way they usually do. So then, if you start losing your way in the game, it's way easier to fall into making individual mistakes because there's no guidance, right? And for Spirit in this game, it definitely has felt like there's been a little bit of a lack of guidance. I think that's just a good way to put it. They're a little bit all over the place.
Raposhka spotted.
Here.
TP won't be there. One more double edge for the road as Miero and company with a 13K lead. You can see Yatoro. I mean, even with all those deaths, he's not that far behind in terms of just pure farm.
Yeah, but
and even Laurel. I mean, all the cores are actually relatively close.
Sven being behind, though, against Faceless Void,
yeah, that's
has a tendency to end one way. The win expectancy of this game currently, 93% the way of BetBoom, and that doesn't mean the game is over. Sven is one of those heroes that can always, even in ultra late game scenarios, if you get the jump, if you surprise and you blast a core instantly and you build the fight from there, you can never count them out. But a really big part of the advantage that BetBoom, or rather that Spirit could have had, BetBoom kind of ruined that 20 minutes ago. Sven in this game is supposed to be 5 to 10k ahead of the Void and finish the game, especially with the start Void had. So now that the Void is #1 on net worth, BetBoom, job well done. Just need to finish it off cleanly without throwing the advantage away. I feel like, to put it into context, I feel like the advantage BetBoom has now is bigger than if Sven's team was 25 or 30k ahead at this point in the game. Because the amount of options that Spirit have for fights kind of just boils down to jump and burst Void, I feel like. If they go on anyone else, Nightfall will just combo break them completely. Looks like his Linkens will now be completed as well, so the jump will be even harder. But Spirit, they've got to try something. I feel like if they just sit around and wait, BetBoom will catch them off eventually. So they'll smoke here.
Yeah, Toronto, Tokyo. Ooh, not quite in range to break the smoke. So both sides.
Mine will detect them.
Yes, the ultimate smoke detector.
Not sure if they noticed.
That's true. It's possible. Nightfall. He's going to be first in line. Spots Laurel, who swashes away. As Miero's going to get glimmered. Shiva's is popped. He's going to get the initiation off on the Laurel and does proc the Eon disc. Now they don't have to worry about that.
Dire's bottom tower
Instant smoke again.
Regeneration.
Gotta love that ninja gear, huh?
Oh, yeah. And now Spirit, with the failed smoke attempt, will have to back away and just go for perhaps just high ground defense, but again...
Koshka gets found. No detection, though. That's not happening.
Yeah.
Okay, Cataclysm with also no detection.
Nice arrow.
A symphony of skills to be missed.
So, what did they get out of the Aegis? Feels like the game is slowed down, if nothing else.
Yeah, but sure, you didn't
sure,
get too much out of
them.
it. That's fine. You know, they don't have to use this. I feel like the pace of the game and the way the lineups interact is okay for them to chill. Of course, if they could have found a good opportunity with the Aegis, they would have definitely taken it and tried to end the game, but there's no time pressure here that is forcing them to get it done with the Aegis. As long as they avoid disastrous fights, they should be fine. GPK closing in on level 25. Reckon he will take... what will he take?
Wow, this is a really good chrono game. Miero gets the initiation off. Actually, Mapochka will die.
But GPK is playing Invoker, so he can't take a chrono talent. He does take the double effect. I figured he might do this in this game instead of the Radial Deafening Blast. There's not enough reason to take the AoE Deafening. When people are caught in chrono, you're not going to knock them back anyway.
Yeah.
you're still going to be able to hit your deafening when it really matters. There's only one target that needs to be caught. Instead, he's just going to empower himself with way stronger stats. Miero will run into collapse.
Yes, he will. Hoofstomp connects. Nightfall actually does use his chrono.
He's dead.
That's going to be the death of collapse again.
I mean, this is just too easy at this point for BetBoom. Spirit are...
Yeah, Nightfall, I think it's just this next item, which is the refresher, that allow him potentially to go high ground after, of course, getting the next Rosh, which may or may not have a refresher shard as well, depending on when it's taken. Nullifier on save. Wow. I don't know if I've ever seen Nullifier on a techies before, but I guess there's a first time for everything.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is my first time seeing it too. So, sure, we might get a stat on that. Maybe.
Fastest ever. Only ever as well.
Yeah. Congratulations on the record save. It's probably going to stay for a while.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Because not only did he get it, he got it before 50 minutes. When would techies ever do this again?
Now here we go. First time this patch. Hoofstomp not going to be there as Laurel will swash away, but he's going to be spotted. Gets off the Rolling Thunder. Eon Disc procs. Miero kind of stuck in no man's land. He's going to get Sheep, but the rest of his team is nearby. Yatoro looking for an opening, but he's stuck in the tree line here. Looking for the Stormhammer initiation. God Strength has already been activated, so Spirit, they're on a bit of a timeline now. Of course, he hasn't been spotted, but they're just going to run away.
Yeah,
but now they can't contest Rosh.
They're baiting Spirit here into thinking they can take this fight because the Void Refresher hasn't been revealed yet, but they ended up not even having to take the fight. Yatoro God Strength out the window. You're now going to go bottom, and this Rosh is Radiance. There is just absolutely no way Spirit can do this without God Strength.
So this is a scenario where I think you could have hit Rosh once, and he keeps the Ags.
Actually true.
I don't know what you prefer in this game. This is a really good refresher game, though. Double Cataclysm, obviously the Void. I mean, he has refresher already.
Yeah, put it on Invoker because Nightfall can't use it. He can't afford it mana-wise, and it's too much inventory management. So you'd imagine that GPK will swap out his Midas for this refresher shard, and then they can do double Cataclysm, double Chrono.
Yep.
And GPK will TP away instantly and not take the shard.
Yeah, somebody will deliver it to him. Some butler-type creature.
Put the banner onto save. That's the ultimate consolation prize. Everybody else is getting these cool new toys.
Yeah,
Save
I think
gets pocket lint.
we need the banner icon added as if it's the Aegis or Smoke or Cheese at the top of the screen. Very important to know who has the banner. And it should actually, if you have multiple items, it should overlay on top because the banner is more important.
Yeah, the thing about the banner, though, you're going to see it up there for 5 seconds, and then it gets placed in the lane. So it's not exactly as interesting as the Aegis and Cheese icons that stay there for minutes. All right, BetBoom. I think it's time for the killing blow.
Indeed.
So many advantages. Aegis, 2 Chronos, 2 Cataclysm.
2 Stampede.
Or rather, 2 Stampedes, I guess, for now.
Nightfall.
Yep, they have all of it.
Well, reverse Time Walk. And he's going for Ags next. As Laurel's going to get initiated on. There's the Chrono #1. It's just a casual Sunstrike,
Nullified by save.
GPK is dead from Yatoro on the sideline. As Laurel's going to buy back now as Nightfall pretty much out of mana. Kind of wants to die here with the Aegis so he can get the second one going. Going to Time Walk onto Yatoro, who's just trying to ignore him. Nullifier's applied to him, but he's going to use the Stormhammer onto the techies. Down goes save eventually, as Laurel coming in with the Rolling Thunder still had that active apparently. There's a Cataclysm finally coming out from GPK, who buys back, and Nightfall now can apply his right clicks to Sven, who's out of mana, out of steam, as Maposhka is going to be right click down. Still 4 members of Spirit available. Make it 5 as that buyback comes through in Toronto, Tokyo. He's going to be completely surrounded now. And the Impale will be reflected, but it's still going to be used effectively onto Toronto, Tokyo. Nightfall completely out of mana and completely surrounded. Still with the Aegis, will come back. But now numbers advantage on the way of Spirit as they take everyone out. Impale immediately pulverized despite the BKB. Has the Chrono? Will Time Walk and attempt to TP out? Do they have any abilities? No.
They stacked Pulverize and Lasso.
So the Void gets out. That's a dieback onto GPK.
How does Spirit win this fight? Like, I don't get it. It's crazy. The amount of it, like, to give you an idea, the amount of advantages that BetBoom have, I feel like this is probably the only possible way that BetBoom lose this fight is that Yatoro solos the Invoker. How did they even set it up? I think this happened off camera. So I don't know how Invoker died to Yatoro. There must have been some sort of initiation from someone else breaking the Lincolns, but the way they're building up this fight, and now with Invoker out of the picture, this Cataclysm isn't particularly good. They don't get to refresh Chrono because Nightfall has it in the backpack.
And now Spirit onto the high ground. There's a banner. Didn't even know that existed. Good.
If Spirit hadn't layered their... if they hadn't stacked their Lasso and Pulverize on top of each other on the Void Kill in the end, he would have also been out, and maybe... I think he would have probably had buyback, but...
There's a set of racks for Spirit for sure.
How are they in this game?
The initiation, they find the Void. Do they have the damage to follow it up with? Finger is there, getting really low, and yes! They get Nightfall. He has the buyback, though. They'll be able to clean up this melee racks, and GPK is up in 10 seconds, so Spirit gonna try to force out this buyback from Nightfall. There's a refresher pop from Mier, who's gonna get stunned as he attempts to run away. See if Spirit want to continue here. And this game just got turned upside down again. It's happened twice so far. As for all intents and purposes, this game is quite even all of a sudden.
BetBoom just lost a 20k lead in 2 minutes while having Aegis, Cheese, and 2 refreshers, or 3 refreshers. They had every single possible advantage they could have had except more banners. And still, Spirit find the one possible... This is what's so incredible about a team like this and why this team, you can never count them out. It's extremely difficult, even while watching. If it's while watching, hard to imagine how they win a fight. Imagine figuring that out while playing.
Yeah.
You know, there's fog of war, you don't have all the information that we have access to, and they still find the one possible avenue and the one possible moment to actually get into this game after BetBoom has been running the show for half an hour. Spirit with one major opportunity. I am blown away by the fact that this game is still going on. I frankly cannot believe it. And now we're going to be approaching the tier 5 neutral items, and things are going to start getting crazier now because there's a couple of items coming out now. There's a Wind Waker on Bat. This is a possibly very big solution to the Void. They have Wind Waker on Collapse, so 2 of those. Collapse as Refresher, so 3 of those.
Yeah, that is quite the roller coaster we have going here.
Mira is close to E-Blade. This win rate has gone from 95% to 69. That's nice, but I think BetBoom would have rather had the W by now.
That's right. BetBoom games never fail to disappoint, it seems.
What?
BetBoom games never fail to disappoint.
Never fail to disappoint.
Yeah.
So they always disappoint. What?
Just focus on the game and not what I'm saying, all right?
All right. Shannon really doesn't like BetBoom, but they're still doing well in the tournament. Despite disappointing every game. They're second in the group.
Ooh, an E-Blade.
Yep. And Collapse gets the 57-minute shard.
I mean, especially at the last tournament, they haven't done as much this time. I feel like they've been a lot more disciplined, but BetBoom, they have taken enormous advantages and just thrown them away.
Yeah, but not to this extent in this event so
not
far,
at this
right?
event.
Like, this is the biggest loss they've had if they end up losing this game. And knowing this team, you know, we've talked about this in the past, how they could be, you know, tilt prone or choking when it really matters the most. Fortunately, they have quite a buffer in this group stage at the very least to still get top 4. But this is the kind of game that if you're not a very stable team, you could come to the wrong conclusions, you can make the wrong adjustments, start second-guessing yourself when, as a matter of fact, everything is completely fine. Just one moment you drop the ball really hard. Oh, let's not get ahead of ourselves. The game isn't even over yet.
No.
It's very wide open. Anything can happen based on the initiation.
Away, and the Wind Wakers, like you said, starting to come in.
That's one
for both
GPK
sides.
now. Interestingly, we haven't talked about this. Collapse did not buy Ags on Primal. I feel like every other Primal we've seen this tournament really rates this item highly, even when the break doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
Collapse is opting to go for Swift Blink over Ags.
Swift Blink?
He just wants more of that mobility on the Primal.
Huh.
I mean, it is a pretty significant damage boost, I suppose, but...
Huh.
I can't help but feel like Ags would be better. That's a lot of damage, you know? But...
That is, maybe he's just opting. You know this is going to go really late, so those Aghanims on Roche will come through eventually.
It's also possible that the length of games in this tournament...
Oh, Miero looking for the opening. He's going to get Yules, though. Miero with a very long claw of death.
Maybe the duration of games, the players are experiencing some sort of cognitive dysfunction, because yesterday we had a Mars with 23,000 gold not upgrading his Blink. So maybe they just don't know what to do when they get all this gold. It's like an AI in training, and it hasn't experienced this system before. It doesn't know what to do. I kind of couldn't believe it when I saw Whisper with 24k on his Mars and a regular Blink. It's so funny to me that that's even possible. Cap and SVG were losing their shit too. It's like, what the hell? He could have bought moon shards for his teammates. He was just literally just making a dragon's horde, you know? It's not putting it to any use. And in this case, well, the gold is being spent, but maybe not on what you would think.
Oh, they forced the BKB at a Nightfall.
Yeah, that's good.
He's going to get stunned again. But with that magic immunity, he won't have to worry about it.
He will have a second one if the fight has to break out, though, with that refresher.
Yeah, but he wants to have the double chrono as well.
Yeah. If he could somehow time walk into chrono into BKB, then he could refresh.
Yeah.
But that is very dangerous.
All right, Roche is up again. We are 6 seconds from tier 5 items. This is where you stack. There you go. Good boy. Good boy. And the tier 5s will start dropping.
With a...
Are scanning.
What does he want?
Radiant are scanning.
Do you want Deso or Giant's Ring? You want Deso.
Deso, very nice.
Yeah. So this item has been nerfed quite significantly, right? I think when it came out, didn't it give like 100 damage? Or am I remembering this incorrectly?
Yeah, it did get nerfed eventually. His Force Boots on the Primal is... You can see BetBoom in the pit, so they'll get Refresher Shard again.
Oh, Nightfall with the Pirate Hat. It's a good item on Void.
Oh, yeah.
Smack him. Yep.
All right, they will clean it up.
Genuinely perma-stunned there.
Roshan's banner, of course. Third item.
Now it's time to dig up some bounty runes for the side of BetBoom. That's... Gives them some breathing room to be the ones claiming this Aegis. It buys them time.
Not often you see Book of Shadows on a Pango. That's interesting.
Not often you see Pango games go to 60 in general.
That's not true.
Is that not true?
I feel like on this patch, half the games go 60 minutes.
That's not true. Book
Book of the Dead for Mira. You get double Necro Book if you need to know what Necro does. Good luck.
Yep. Just,
Maybe Google it.
I mean, it says on the spell, actually. It says on the Book of the Dead. If you read the text, it says, summons 2 sets of level 3 Necronomicon units that last 75 seconds.
Oh.
I think that's good enough.
They updated it.
It doesn't explain what Necronomicon units are at all. So if you're a new player, you have absolutely no clue what you're getting your hands into when you pick up this book. But, you know, just maybe that's part of the charm. You're like, oh, I wonder what these units are.
It's not overwhelming. Oh, you can alt. Okay.
Yeah. That's
a little bit more.
That tells you how much the strength
stats.
gives you.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot to read, just not
That's
about
quite
the
good.
units.
No.
Well, you want an entire wiki to show up in the tooltip? What are you expecting? Stampede. Oh, Maposhka.
He has Wind Waker, and he's very fast. He will get out.
Nightfall continue. Oh, they're going to spot him. Gets off the Wind Waker. Collapse on the other side. As Nightfall comes in with a time dilation, he's going to use the Chrono. Finds the Primal Beast. He's nullified as well. Down goes Collapse. Buyback is there, though. Laurel.
Are you fucking serious?
So
What is that?
digging for a bounty as Laurel.
He just time walked in front of Laurel and started digging.
Can we get a highlight of that one, please? I'd really love to see that again.
We were joking about min-maxing earlier today. This is the most min-maxing thing I've ever seen in my life.
That was
It's like,
good.
I do not have a quarter of a second to see what happens after I time walk high ground. I must dig up this gold.
Here we go. Oh, he didn't see him. He didn't see him, technically.
No, sure, but like...
Laurel could have stolen the bounty.
Why are you time walking up here if you aren't looking for something, right? You must be assuming you're gonna... There's a chance you find something, and if you don't, you can dig.
That was good.
He instantly dug before he even got vision, I think, of the surroundings. All right, well... Time is money, that's right.
Oh, GPK took the, what's it called? The Giant's Ring, interestingly enough, so wants to be able to walk through terrain.
Oh, that's a big mage. That brings me back to a certain custom game that everybody loved and was therefore taken away.
That's right. Okay, Laurel. Initiation. Nightfall's Lincoln's is popped, but still with the Aegis for 2 minutes. Doesn't have Chrono unless he wants to use his refresher. We'll go for the buildings. Of course, Spirit don't know that he hasn't used this in Fog. As the tower will fall, Alacrity onto Nightfall. He's going to get Sheep now. Oh, the Hex is not there. As Miero comes in for the stun onto Mira, but the Book of Shadows keeping him alive. Nice usage from Laurel. Is Nightfall and company going to reset? They were trying to get the buyback out of the collapse, but he'll wait it out. Surprised that Laurel didn't go for a Basher at any point this game. That's a bit unusual. As Yatoro trying to find a connection. Nightfall. Again, no Chrono for 15 seconds unless he wants to refresh. Pops the BKB. Pretending that he has it right now, but doesn't want to use it with only 10 seconds left as Laurel does expend that Rolling Thunder again. Arrow coming out. Mira gets off the stun, but looks like he's going to fall first as the Necro Books are coming. Yatoro is going to get hexed. GPK is there. The Meatball surprise on top of him. Save. Won't be able to get the stun because of the BKB as Yatoro's still trying to run away. He's all alone right now. Gets sheeped and destroyed. Does have buyback, and he did not use his ult, so it won't be that bad of a buyback. As we have the Warhorse is here, Cinderin. Aghanim Scepter on Centaur, very important. Will he use it at any point? Chronosphere finds Laurel. There's the Cataclysm on top of the Eon Disc procs most of the damage, as Laurel's going to use the roll up, and eventually is brought down as well. So 3 dead for Spirit, and BetBoom need to force out these buybacks.
It's a good axe. It's a very good axe having the backpack.
He needs to consume it. It's not worth giving up any of his other items. As Nightfall is going to take a rock to the side of the head. Backdoor protection is there. Aegis is no longer there. As Collapse, he's going to get chronoed. He still has his buyback from before. But he just gives away his life, it seems.
What was the plan?
As Nightfall now is level 30. The chrono will be enormous.
Is the plan here to bait this by making him chrono so now you can take a triple buyback fight, perhaps?
Yeah, I think they want them to think that they don't have buybacks, potentially. And they're going to use one on Laurel. This will delay things just a bit. They don't want to use the Sven one yet, for sure. 12 seconds left. But they have to be careful because their tower is going down rapidly. Laurel again with the Rolling Thunder, but that will force BetBoom back at least temporarily.
All right, I rate Collapse's plan as 0 out of 10 there. If that was or well, maybe it was an okay plan, but the execution was lacking.
Nightfall finishes off the tower. Maposhka in the trees. Toronto Tokyo, his arrows will not find the target. Maposhka popping the Lincolns, but he's going to get bursted down. Impale comes out, but not going to find any target. So that's 2 dead now for Spirit. But again, all buybacks up for those that are dead at the moment. And they're going to get the hoof stop up onto 2. Yatoro coming in with the God Strike. 3-shotting. Nope, they actually forced him to the other side. Nightfall able to take a lot of damage off. As a result, gets a reverse time walk now. But he's all alone. GPK died during this engagement as well, as the Warhorse is activated to very little effect as always. Miero gets to the high ground. Laurel finding the stuns onto Toronto Tokyo. GPK actually buys back here, as Yatoro still with that God Strength up, able to clean things up. Save now glimmered as Laurel trying to find some meaningful connection. Collapses TPing on top of him as this fight continues to go on. And another dies for BetBoom, and GPK, he cannot lose his life here. Gets hit by a stray rock. And it looks like he should be able to get out.
I
No
don't,
TP for 15, though.
I don't get it, man. I don't understand anything.
Babushka? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. He has 2 gems. One is... Oh, the flame break? It actually does hit. Not sure if he's got the vision, but they see that he uses Tornado. Blink is up in 1 second. Pango hitting a wall. Needs his driver's license revoked. And that will be enough for GPK to get out. This game is delivering on all fronts.
Yeah, the Seer Stone from Miposhka, they're almost finding the Invoker in the end, but he gets out. What is going on? Like, they used both Chronos to get these really nice kills on the Spirit cores for free. And then Spirit still somehow managed to force them to fight them?
Yeah, we're almost there.
I'm at a loss for, like, does Spirit's team only work when it's the hardest? They have to have their backs against the wall, down a lot, have to throw heroes away.
The difference is they're not mega,
bleed out.
right? So they actually have lanes to work
Oh yeah,
with.
absolutely. I mean, this game is very winnable for the Dire. It's just, it's kind of crazy how these things are playing out with, I was saying, was Collapse dying on purpose to a Chrono so it wasn't ready? And BetBoom could have obviously, the reason I didn't like the idea was that, first of all, BetBoom got the laner racks anyway and could just kind of chill, but they could have just disengaged and taken that free kill and been like, great. But then they kept forcing high ground with 0 of their Chronos ready. It was actually a super clutch save on the Void, but he couldn't capitalize on it because he didn't have, you know, the one spell that makes him a god right now. They didn't wait for it. They kept going high.
So everybody on BetBoom, other than GPK, has buyback. And Spirit know this.
Yeah, he is the target, if possible. For the side of BetBoom.
Stampede. Collapse able
Who's
to get
the
out.
target for them?
Well, they know that Laurel doesn't have it. And
Miposhka.
Miposhka as well. Obviously, Laurel a bit of bigger kill.
Radiant's bottom
Is Book of Shadows... You can't target at all, right? So what if Nullifier is on you first, and then you Book of Shadows? Do you know how that works? Is it undispellable?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
I would think it is. But it's a unique ability, right? There's nothing like it in the
Oh,
game.
Roshan's up again. And this time, Spirit will claim it. Banner on their side. Of course, they don't have the greatest track record of using this. Aegis and Refresher Shard. I would assume that they keep this Refresher Shard for...
Collapse.
I was going to say Yatoro because...
But he already has Refresher. Yeah, I don't know. All right. BetBoom looking for trouble. Spirit looking for a way out, and they will find it.
Oh, he actually went Silver Edge on Nightfall. I didn't notice.
Yeah, so did the Sven. They both bought Silver Edge, which is, you know, not a popular item this patch at all, but in ultra late game situations for melee carries, it can be a way of accessing the fight. You know, just having the extra mobility, having the ability to go undetected. This is like, this is the ninja gear now. You know?
Yeah, in a way, that is true.
That's kind of what it is. They want to get in undetected so they can find the surprise factor. It is worth an item slot at this point. Prioritizing it over an item such as AC. Obviously a little bit of a waste to...
Centaur level 30 now. Some of his talents are very underwhelming, though, I have to say.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah.
Shadows, take us.
And if you're BetBoom, you're just waiting. I mean, both sides, honestly, are kind of okay waiting for these buybacks. But you do have the Aegis advantage for Spirit. Do you want to risk it?
It's difficult. I think,
BetBoom looks like they want to look for a fight.
despite everything that's happened, I still think BetBoom are in a good position in this game. It's just a matter of...
Stop saying that.
No, but it's a matter of can they keep it together, you know?
Well, obviously not.
All right.
Oh, they find the hacks. This is a huge kill. Laurel is going to get Chrono nullified, dead. 2 full minutes.
Well,
And they know this.
Yep, but that's bad news for BetBoom because it means they now have an advantage.
Yes.
And advantages have been working against them.
Oh,
So waiting for Spirit
Is under attack.
to absolutely capitalize on this 4v5 against them. With their mid-hero dead 72 minutes into the game, they will find a great fight now.
Refresher used in the fog. Yatoro's in the tree line. Do they have vision? No. Oh, that's a huge chrono. They actually find all three. Not going to focus on the Sven first. They get the Batrider, who no longer has buyback. Mira is next, and Yatoro gets bashed by the Aghanim Scepter. Yules is going to keep him alive for the time being. Be forced away. That is the Aegis still intact, but Nightfall and company should be able to get the second laner Axe for free now.
Both Chronos
Backdoor
down.
protection. Nightfall kind of resetting a bit as he waits for this wave mid to show up. Wants to finish this once and for all. Yatoro showing up, collapsed with the pulverize. There's the cart from Miero, doing basically nothing. Nobody's inside of it at all. It's an empty cart. And the Wind Waker going to keep Collapse alive, but he's horribly surrounded. The Hoof Stomp is there, taking heavy damage as Yatoro already pretty low with that Aegis still intact though. And Collapse gets off the Shivas now, the E-Blade, but the Nullifier to counter it, and now that is the death of the Primal Beast. Basically no buybacks left for Spirit after that last one from Collapse, and Mira trying to fight this off on his own. It's not going to happen. And now it's a 5 versus 2 for BetBoom. How to throw now? Yatoro able to dodge out the arrows as the first tier 4 will fall. Yatoro Collapse gonna have to come up with some magical formula here as Nightfall gonna try to initiate. Yules is gonna keep Yatoro alive, but he's nullified again. Trying to do something, but he is overwhelmed. Aegis down. Buys the Refresher, has to still bring it back to his inventory. Nullified now into Collapse, is gonna be able to force that to get away. Yatoro gonna have to try to fight this basically on his own, but he's getting bashed right and left by Nightfall. Yule's keeping him alive a little bit longer, but finally the blast off comes to finish him off. Has the buyback, but no ult. Unless he wants to use that Refresher there, but Collapse, he's the one taking the damage now. 2 minutes, no buyback. Laurel is next, and it's just Yatoro on his own in a 1 versus 5. And this looks like it's gonna be GG's called. 74-minute game. BetBoom wins game 1.